Today on the channel, the almost 2-year-long wait is over. Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, Powertown, 2-pack.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Powertown Wrestling unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got the long-awaited, highly anticipated Matt Cardona, Brian Myers 2-pack. But for all your Matt and Brian needs, eBay. But for everything else Powertown related, head over to the Powertown website. You can still get in on the Remcos, TNA Ultras, Ultra Series 2. They have pre-orders. Even though they were supposed to stop November 24th, they never took them down. Even though they threatened us, this is your last chance, they left the pre-order model going. And maybe a smart business decision, I think, for those that pay close attention, like maybe you and I, and Mark Summers and Todd McFarlane over there on the couch. Maybe not so good for them. They're like, wait a minute, I see what they're doing. They're playing tricks with us a little bit. But to the average Joe, it'll be nice to go over to Powertown and be able to pre-order some stuff. And we've talked about Powertown, of course, on this channel ad nauseum, probably more than any other YouTube channel, in all honesty. Usually an update every week on our toy news, and make sure you're checking out the toy news every Saturday on this channel, and make sure you subscribe to this channel while you're at it. We're nearing 50,000 subscribers, 5-year anniversary in March of this channel. If we can hit 50,000 by that video, we're going to do a lot of giveaways, so be on the lookout for that. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. But this Matt and Brian pack took almost 2 years to get to this point where we're unboxing it here. That is just absolute insanity there. Now, they did try to do some make goods. They did give us this coin, which we'll unbox in this as well. There's a lot to dive into in this video, so it's probably going to be a long video, but we will dive into that coin. But 2 years is just unexcusable. That's a long pre-order. That's a long time for anybody to sit on your money. That doesn't happen in really any other industries. Yes, there's that Kiss book out there. You Kiss fans probably know about that. But it's few and far between, and these kind of things just don't happen in other industries at all. But here we are, the wrestling business, the wrestling toy business is absolutely wild, as we know as well. But this one could. We say it on the channel all the time. It's one of the mottos of the channel. You lose a customer a loaf at a time, a loaf of bread, of course. You get them back a slice at a time. This could be the start of Powertown getting people back a slice at a time, or it could be them losing people forever with this set. A lot hinges on this set with Matt and Brian, because if people are over the moon for this, they're absolutely in love with this, guess what? They might pre-order that Remco. They may get the TNA set. Maybe Ultras Series 2, and maybe it is smart for Powertown to leave that pre-order open so people can dive into that. We're going to see. We're going to dive into it. We're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly, if there is bad and ugly, and if there is good, I guess, as well. But very interesting business model with Powertown. As I keep saying, I am a champion for the brand. I hope it succeeds, but man, they got to do better. They owe their customers more. They got to step up to the plate, because I am extremely worried next round of pre-orders, whatever that series may end up being, will people be able to forgive and forget, or will most people say, you know what, they always come back in stock, they always come back, I'm going to pass on it. But speaking of that, a lot of people passed on this, saying I'll get it down the line. Well, Matt and Brian have talked about it. They said, hey, we don't want these going back up for sale. We don't want to, and I'm sure Powertown would like to make more money and get these back out there. But it sounds like Matt and Brian said, nope, they're going to be limited. So what you see is what you get. You're stuck to the eBays. You're stuck to the whatnots and the Mercaris of the world, Facebook groups if you want this. Going to be a very premium pack, and I almost hate to unbox it at this point, but we got to do it for science, as you guys do know. So long wordy on the beginning here. I think we all set the stage for Powertown. Now let's dive into it. And I guess let's start with these coins here. I'm not a coin guy. I don't collect coins, but we'll see what all the fuss is about with this. Comes in a little bit of a CD envelope, I guess we'd call it here. See you later, goodbye. And what do we got inside? Oh my gosh, see you later, Frisbee style. We got a Brian Myers coin. So the first side says, the most professional wrestler, digital media champion, Brian Myers. Now, obviously, this is extremely dated at this point, as you can imagine. On the back, we got Matt Cardona, of course. It does say the belt collector, NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Matt Cardona. So how many years ago was Matt was it almost 2 years probably at this point? It's been a long time. So these coins, very, very out of date. However, this wasn't part of the pre-order. This wasn't anything. This was a make good for the long delays. But it was still delayed like 8 months after these coins were announced, if not more than that. So it is nice. It's better than nothing. It's just like the Series 1 figures we got delayed, or I guess Series 2, the Remcos, all that. We know they said, hey, we're going to make good. We're going to give everybody a free figure, which was a very nice gesture that we talked about on the channel. But I think a lot of us just want the figures we ordered, and we want them in a timely manner. So hopefully that is the case going forward. But a nice gesture. We got our coins. Who knows what you could do with this coin? I have been told. Now, fact check this, Todd McFarlane from the couch. Todd McFarlane always on the couch wiggling his toes, as we know. He does. You did tell me this. You were the one that told me this, actually. You can take this to any Applebee's. Any Applebee's in the country, in the United States. You'll have to check over in Canada. I don't know if they got Applebee's over there, but if they do, whip this bad boy out at the table, show it to your server, and guess what? Your drinks are on the house, and you do get a free appetizer of your choosing. So shout out to Applebee's. Bring this over there. Fact check it. If they don't do it, tell them to call Todd McFarlane. That's what I'll say right there. But now we're going to dive into this set here. We're going to dive right into Matt and Brian. Look at the big window box on this. Like I said, a beautiful looking pack. They're mean mugging down there at the bottom. Got their mugs there. You got Cardona. You got Myers on the side. Powertown logo. All about branding at the end of the day, as we do know. Ultras, premium collectibles, big window box. Gotta imagine a lot of fans gonna get this dual signed. I don't blame anybody on that there. You got Matt Cardona on the side, looking only like a Matt Cardona could look if he was in Powertown. Same thing with Brian Myers on this side as well. Now, we'll do some comparisons of Matt and Brian to their Mattel Elites and their Super 7 figures later in this video, so stay tuned to that. Then on the back, we got War and Peace. We got both of them. Quite the readout for both these guys. I don't know if I want to read all this, do I? I don't think I want to read all this, but I will put it up on the image graphic here, and you can pause the video if you want to read all this, but that is a heck of a story here. Now, this does Matt Cardona versus Nick Aldis, March 20th, 2022 Crockett Cup. That's what this gear, that's what this look comes from. Brian Myers versus Crazy Steve. Shout out to Crazy Steve. From September 29, 2022, Impact on Access TV. So you do get the looks, you do get the dates. I always appreciate that. We used to get that with AEW figures. They have stopped doing that. I think Powertown should do that on all figures they release. They always give us a nice bio and things, but put what the match is from. Put what the angle it's from. Whatever you want to do, I think that is a nice little touch, a nice premium touch to this pack here. But like I said, big readout here. I'm not against this. I am going to save the packaging on this one, I think. I do like the packaging a whole lot. It is a lot bigger than I thought. This is a space killer as well. I will definitely say that. But we're going to dive it out of the package. One thing I did notice, your mileage may vary. Brian's digital media title belt is unfortunately dislodged out of the package. So that really sucks. If I was a mid-on card collector, I'd be pretty bummed about that. Thankfully, I'm opening this one up, and we're doing it for science here, as we usually do on the channel. If I can get it out. There we go. Major Wrestling Figure Podcast background there. Looking very nice, but a nice gentle off to the side. See you later. And then we're diving into it. There it is. Look at that. How about that? A lot going on in here, of course, in the old plastic prison. And I'm just going to take this top part off just like so. There it is. And then there's a little Easter egg in there. What do you see there? It is the internet title, of course, Matt Cardona's title. And that is a, I guess, a freebie. Is that what we want to call it? Once again, off to the side, gentle. See you later. I guess we'll call it a freebie, for lack of better words. They didn't say this was going to be here. It was a nice surprise in the package. Obviously, this got out a few months ago. Brian Myers got his sample copy, and that's where most people found out this was included right here. So we do get the title belt here. 3 title belts included. Very, very nice to get the internet title. We've had it from Super 7. We've had it, of course, from the Elite line, easy for me to say, and now we get it from Powertown. However, one thing you got to mention with this one, it is a more updated title belt here. I guess, I don't know if you call it the Deathmatch King title. I'm not sure exactly what we call it, but it is nice to get Matt's title belts, and he's a belt collector. It said it on the box there, so nice to see that, of course. Now, I guess since we started with that, we'll do Matt Cardona first in this one here, and we're going to dive into all of this. You can easily tell the hands apart because Matt has that Hulk Hogan hot dog tan on point right here today. So we do have that going on. So let's dive into it, and let's start with the other belt. Might as well finish it off with the belts. We do get the NWA World Heavyweight title belt. Feel like a young Harley Race holding this bad boy up, but it is another title belt from Powertown. Feels not as thick, I guess, as maybe the AEW belts, Mattel belts, a little skinnier plastic. Not sure, let's see. You know, one of the big issues we have with a lot of title belts is how hard they are to clasp. And this one isn't super hard, but isn't super easy as well. But it does clasp a little different than some of the other ones, but it does seem to get the job done. And we'll see when we get it on the figure there. But nice to get the NWA title belt, one of the most classic title belts, I think, in the history of wrestling, no doubt about it. Some may say the most iconic design. There's people that would say that for sure. So cool to get two of the title belts that, of course, Matt Cardona held. It would have been cool to get, like, when he had, like, 7 or 8 of them, like a young Ultimo Dragon. Would have been nice to have all those. Not going to be the case there. Now, we do get his little plastic piece there off to the side. See you later. We do get his robe, and I understood why he wore this robe. Of course, the NWA, you think of the Harley Races. You think of course, the Greg the Hammer Valentine's back in the day. You think of Ric Flair. You think of all the robes that people wore. Mr. Wrestling, of course, all those robes. Fitting into the NWA, you had to have a robe. So Matt's, I always felt Matt looked weird in a robe. I don't know, maybe that's just me, that's personal opinion, but I did understand why he would do it. It does look good for what it is. Now, I think Matt got some of these made once upon a time for the Super 7 figure. Now we get some official ones via Powertown here. Nice, soft, good robe going on. Nice feel to it. You got that nice sparkle and glitter. You got the Matt Cardona logo all over. It does say Cardona on the back. You got the skulls going on. You get the nice tie in the front right there. Just a very, very premium quality feeling robe right here, that's for sure. Now, it is flaking off a little bit. I am getting some sparkles on my table there. Nobody likes a glitter bomb, of course, as we know. But we do get that for Matt Cardona. We will have it for the glamour shots, of course. Now, finishing off with the accessories, we're going to dive into the hands. He's got 2 middle finger hands. Oh, let's keep it PG, Matt. But we do get 2 middle finger hands. So if you want to go double flip the bird, single flip it, do whatever you want. Choose your own adventure there. You get 2 Fists of Fury as well going there. And that's it. Of course, hands out of the package, you do got the splayed out hands. Now, it does look to be the same hands we saw with Powertown before. One of my only real gripes with the Powertown figures is I felt like the hands needed to be a little bit bigger and the feet needed to be a little bit bigger. That is one thing that doesn't look to be changed too much here. So your mileage may vary how you feel about that. Some people don't mind it, but it does take my head out of the game just a little bit. I would like to see him just slightly upsized. But now, let's dive into Matt Cardona right here. And like I said, first thing I notice is that tan. He's got that hot dog tan. He's ready to go. But quite the head sculpt on this one on Matt. If somebody handed me this, I would know it is Matt Cardona, especially with that little tuft of hair in the front. That really brings it home for Matt Cardona for sure. 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. Got a little bit of a scowl going on there, and of course got the beard going. Matt Cardona all day long. Now the second head, he does have the tongue out head. I've never been a big fan of the tongue out head. Some characters I think, hey, tongue out head works. Axe and Smash, Road Warrior Hawk, X-Pac. That's what I think of a tongue out. Besides that, I don't really like it. And I know Matt sticks his head, his tongue out from time to time, but I think I will be using the static head on this one instead of the tongue one. But he's got a glorious tongue. He's giving Gene Simmons a run for his money, I guess is what we'll say. But you really got to choose your own adventure. I like that they're very different from each other as well, so that is a nice touch right there. But now we're going to dive into old Matt Cardona, see what all the fuss is about. Let me tell you, there's fuss when it comes to Powertown. Now, we do got some chest hair there. No real fur chest hair, for those wondering. Of course, we're all wondering about that, but it is painted on chest hair. I don't see any issues with that. You got a lot of deco hits on these trunks here with the Matt Cardona logo, the splatter paint all over. You get the NWA on the back as well, so a lot going on there. A lot going on the knee sleeves behind with the Matt Cardona logos, and then the knee pads in front with the skull logo and then the middle finger LI hands going on. Even his tattoos that are peeking up out of the legs there looking very nice as well. And then you got the silver and purple attack with the Matt Cardona logo. Looking very good in the shoe department. Now, one thing I did notice on these, look at this, got holes in the feet. That was another gripe I had with the first series. Glad they added that so we can use stands. Might as well do a ringside test, huh? Should we see if he fits? Oh, look at that. Shout out to Powertown for adding that. I love that it fits on a stand. These are premium figures. Says premium collectible right on the package. We got to make sure these don't take a dive off the top of our shelves. So being able to use ringside stands, the best stands in the game, use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10% on the ringside stands. That works out pretty good. They do fit on the Mattel stands, not going to fit on the AEW stand. So like to see that, of course. Now the hands are removable, as we do know. Plug off very easily right there, on and off. We've seen that before with them. Head, how hard is that? Very easy to take the head off and on, so I love that. It is tight. It's not falling off on us, but it does feel really, really good, and it does come off very easily. Now, arm's going to go all the way around for us. Oh, my gosh. Ooh, there we go. That was a little scary. A little scary, but arms do go all the way around. Very, very tight. Wouldn't hurt to heat it up with a hair dryer or some hot water, of course. Bicep cut right there. Now, we do got the elbow sleeves, the elbow pads going on, but we do got pinless joints. Oh, no, never mind. I take that back. We got those big old pins. Todd, you love these pins. Look at these bad boys here. We do got pins in the elbows. Would love to see pinless. You know me on the channel here. We do got the elbow sleeve with the Matt Cardona logo in black. You got the purple one on the other side. Got the razor sleeves over here. A little tribute to old Scott Hall, of course. You got the wrist tape going on and then the forearm tape. And once again, this arm is tight as well. There we go. My oh my, be careful with these, of course, as I did say. We showed the hands are removable. Hula hoop up top, plus traditional waist, just a little bit of waist there. Got those big old Cardona splits. Hopefully the legs don't fall apart. That was the issue we had with Series 1. No issues right there. From what I see, those move very, very nicely. You do get a boot cut going on, a little looser than I would like on the boot cut. Single jointed knees. Once again, you do got the pins in the knees for those keeping track at home. And then you get ankles up, down, back and forth, side to side. The usual articulation we're used to at this point with Powertown. But boy, oh boy, not a bad looking figure. Not a bad looking figure at all right here for old Matt Cardona. Going to put him back on a stand. Got to say, look good, feel good, and a few improvements over the stuff. We say it all the time, constant learning, constant improvement. We saw some of that right here. So like I said, I've been championing this. I've been rooting for this. I want this to be my toy line because I want the classic, guys. Obviously, this is the modern set, but the majority of their stuff is the classic variety. That's what I'm looking for, and so far they've done a pretty good job, and I'm anxious for the future. Hopefully the quality on the upcoming stuff can match the quality on this one here. Still a couple of nitpicks for me in the hand size and the foot size, but all things considered, not a bad piece of business right here. I guess if you have this, you'll probably concur with that, I would have to think. But now we're going to dive into old Brian Myers. Brian's got a lot going on, and Brian comes with 3 heads. He's got 1 extra head than Matt Cardona, so I found that to be interesting as well. I guess we'll start with Brian's hands first. We'll start with the accessories, work our way over to him. Of course, going to save the packaging there. Off to the side, gentle. See you later. Once again, we do get the middle fingers. I'm guessing same hands. Makes sense to use the same hands, of course. So we do get the middle finger hands once again. And then we get 2 fists of fury. And that's one where I really feel the hands look small is when they're balled up in these fists. Would love to see just upsized a little bit. Just a little bit right there. We do get the Digital Media Championship. Of course, first time ever released a Digital Media Championship belt. Looking very nice here. I have no issues with this. It does say Digital Media Impact Champion. Same class system, all that stuff. Powertown really known for their belts. Of course, remember Series 1, everybody getting a different belt. I thought that was a really cool thing. Continues with these guys here. Now you do get Brian's iconic vest jacket here. Of course, denim and leather brought us all together, but he was only going denim. He was skipping out on the leather, just keeping it to the denim. Most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, got the logo on there as well in the front with the big M, and then you get the Myers headshot logo on the back. Nice plastic here, moves around very easily. Here for this, of course. Now, we do get the hoodie part of the jacket. Do you want it down? Do you want it up? Choose your own adventure on this one here. Brian wears it both ways, so you can choose your own way on these as well with the jacket. So that does look nice. Now we're diving into the figure itself. We're going to start with the head sculpts. Got to say, this is Brian Myers all day long. I think this looks more like Brian Myers than this one looks like Matt Cardona, and I think most people are going to guess this is Matt Cardona if you hand him the head, but they really nailed the likeness on Brian Myers. Dare I say, this is probably the best Brian Myers head sculpt of all time. So shout out to that for sure. Looking very, very nice. Got the long flowing hair going on. 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. Playing all those Brian Myers hits, that's for sure. Now, the second head here that we got, he does have that face mask that he wears from time to time. He doesn't wear it as much as he used to, I don't think, but definitely has worn this over the years. It is not removable. It is sculpted in. We saw this with Super 7 where it was removable. Kind of a different take on it with this one here, and I like that idea there. Now, the third head, the final head, we're showing some emotion. We got those teeth showing right there. Brian going to a heck of a dentist out there, so his teeth looking nice and white. Everything else kind of the same, the hairdo. You don't have the strands down in the front. It's all kind of strung back this time. Got the beard going on. 2 eyes, 2 ears, nose, and a mouth, the usual stuff. But I like this. You get the yin and yang in the head sculpt department, and then the one with the mask, that's the one in the middle. So really knocked it out of the park. Would have really liked to seen 1 extra head with Matt Cardona. However, knowing he got an extra title belt, knowing he got that robe, probably not in the budget. I do understand that, of course. But that's the accessories. Now we're diving into Brian. Don't need to walk through the articulation on Brian. It's going to be identical to Matt Cardona, as you can imagine. But looking very, very good. He's got the Matt, or I keep saying Matt. I mean, do I not know these guys apart by now? I think I do. You got the M for Myers right there in the front, looking very nice. You do got his tattoos of his daughters on his forearms. Everything looks okay with that one there. You do got the hand tape, the wrist tape. We saw that on all the hands. Easy way to tell them apart from the matte hands and the tan, of course. Not quite as tan as Matt Cardona, a little lighter, and I think that is true to fashion as well. I got the nice white knee pads going on. You got the M's on the boots down the white as well. You got the black shoes or black boots over the white kickers, looking very nice. And then you do got the white, the gold trim, and the black. Just an all-around very clean look, too. White gear most of the time looks extremely clean. That's how this looks as well. No issues on this, no real looseness. I will say on both of them, the right boot cut is a little looser than I like. Just needs to be tightened up just a hair. The left one is about perfect. This one just a little looser. Now, once again, your mileage may vary. We always say that, but I did notice that on this one here. No problems with... Boy, that hula hoop, barely any movement out of that. Barely any movement out of the waist as well. Maybe if you heat them up, you'll get a little bit more movement. No problems with the legs. I will say, when you do look at the body, sometimes the legs come out just a little bit more than I'd like them to. It's almost like you need the torso and the groin area to be just a little bit bigger because it does kind of look like he's got two like saddlebags off here to the side. But that is really, really nitpicky for this one, is I would say. And he should as well fit on a ringside collectible Mattel stand. Using discount code Kyle to save 10%. Maybe. Oh, he's a little tighter. Brian needs to work on his hole game. Next time I see him, I say, Brian, how tight is your hole these days? That's what I'll say him. First thing I'll say. There it goes. Fits on there pretty good right there. Gotta say, these two lived up to the hype. However, for me, I love these figures. They're very good, and I think I can say right now, if the rubber hits the road, probably the best Matt and Brian figures of all time. So shout out to Powertown for that. We kind of assumed that, but we always know what happens when you assume, of course. But man, oh man, the business practices and stuff takes a lot of shine off these figures, and that is unfortunate. I am hopeful everything goes smooth with Powertown in the future. If they can get a couple of more W's under their belt instead of taking L after L after L for the last 2 years or so, if they can get some W's, they could really snowball this. They just got to get it to us on a timely manner. If I'm Powertown, and this is just me putting my business hat on, any future stuff, don't do the pre-order model. Or if you're going to do it, know that you're going to stick to your timetables and say, hey, shipping in the next month. That's what I would say. Don't say, hey, it'll be here when it gets here. Don't tell your fan base, just wait and be patient, because people are over that. That was a COVID thing. People have moved on. We've seen Super 7s of the world who always had the longest wait times, shoring up those wait times and also saying, hey, in stock now immediately as a surprise drop. Would love to see Powertown do that in the future. Hey guys, here it is. Because if they want to stick to that pre-order model, it's their business after all. I think it's going to be a dangerous precedent after all the shenanigans over the last year or so. I just don't think they're going to get the pre-order variety. And I wouldn't be shocked with the pre-orders still being open right now if that's because they need more units sold. That's just the only thing I can think of, because if you got all the units you need, you think you'd be done. But I think they're hoping right now that people are going to really love these. There's going to be a lot of publicity and positiveness about this, and people will rethink their Powertown thoughts and say, well, maybe I do need that TNA Series 1, and they can kind of get some of the past behind them, which I wish anybody in business well in that scenario there. But I'm very interested to see where the Remcos go. I'm very interested in Ultra Series 2 and, of course, TNA Series 1. And then apparently MLW Galoobs are in the future. I don't know how well of a good idea that is, but there's a lot of stuff going on with Powertown right now. We'll be here for it. We'll cover it on the channel, as you guys do know. And then real quickly here, let's get some Matt and Brian comparisons going on. You do got the Elite. You do got the first Super 7. Same thing with Brian as well, the Elite and the Super 7. So as we can see, obviously scale-wise, I know some people say they want their Powertowns mixed in. You really can't. They're really their own scale. And Todd, you take a lot of heat for that. A lot of people get on you and say, why can't you be a Marvel Legends scale? Well, at the end of the day, it's Powertown's business. They're going to scale the way they want to. For good or for bad, it's their choice. They just got to live with the consequences. So if you wanted these for your Mattel Elites, unfortunately not going to work out so hot. That's just the way it's going to go there. But I do got a Kerry Von Erich, so you can kind of see the scaling between these. Of course, no hole in the foot on these ones, as we do know, but you can kind of see. I think that's about right. I would say Brian, Kerry, and Matt are all within the same couple of inches between each other. So not bad, not a bad comparison here. I always love the Super 7s, always love the Elites from Matt and Brian, but these two are head and shoulders above those. But with that comes a much more expensive price point, so you always have to take that into consideration as well. But quite the set from Powertown. Hopefully this is what we get in the future. We'll just have to wait and see. Time will tell, of course. But will time tell for you? What's your Powertown future look like? Admiring from afar? Totally out of the game? Matt and Brian brought you back to business? Let me know your thoughts on Powertown and your collecting habits in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. You guys know we're dangerously close to 50,000. We're chasing it. We're chasing that dragon right now. Would love your help. Appreciate all the support. Check out the Patreon for early access to videos. Tons of bonus content. Your best way to support the channel. My book, The Complete Guide to the Jakks Class Superstar Series, available digitally now, as well as softcover and hardcover. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. Don't forget Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, and on Instagram. So for Matt and Brian, Powertown, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
We're going to the end of the line.